So, this is a bit of an experiment. I'm going to read something out for you that I wrote that goes with the video yoga at home. So some of it's just a bit of background about why you might want to try and do some more movement at home and some benefits, and yeah, see what you think. So the physiology of our bodies is designed to work best when we move them regularly throughout our day. And our modern life and many jobs mean that we tend not to move them as much as we should. So we're quite sedentary between going and exercising. And there are also many people living with chronic illness that restricts their capacity for activity. So these two kind of examples mean there's quite a lot of people who could benefit from moving a little bit more mindfully. So it can be easy for hours to pass, either sitting at your computer desk or lying in bed because you're not well. And during this time, your body's missing some of the benefits that it gets from the muscles contracting and the movement of your body. So when the muscles contract, they help push the blood back to our heart. Our heart pumps the blood away from its heart itself, and then it goes all the way to our extremities. So the tiny, tiny capillaries that provide blood to each cell is a long way from where the pumping started in our hearts. So the body's been designed that the muscles, when they contract, squeeze the capillaries, squeeze the blood back into the veins that are the vessels that travel towards your heart. These vessels have little valves that help the blood not just flow with gravity back away from the heart. And if our circulation isn't really working at its best, we have less oxygenated blood going to our brain to help us think clearly, and less blood is being taken with the nutrients and the oxygen, the nutrients that it absorbs when it travels past the digestive system, and the oxygen that it gets from traveling through the lungs. The same with our lymphatic system, which is part of our circulation system and our immune system. It relies on those muscle contractions as well. Also, when we don't move regularly, our posture can become really poor. We can gradually get worse and worse as we sit there for a longer time, or we can sit poorly on the couch, or we can be lying in an awkward position in our bed, or just for too long in one position. When we're hunched over at our desk or over our devices, or even lying in bed sometimes, we are not giving our lungs enough room to expand properly. We're constricting our digestion. A lot of things that aren't very helpful. We can be talking on the phone in a poor posture, standing at the kitchen bench in a poor posture. Try and think of the anatomical position that you see in pictures, that the hips are nice and level, the feet are comfortable distance apart, the spine's naturally got its nice curves in it. When we're using our devices, our head can be too far forward. Our head's really heavy with our nice brain in it, and that just puts so much strain on our spine, all these big muscles in our neck, our shoulders and our back they have to work really hard to support that weight of our head, and it can give you headaches, and just that tense feeling in your body really makes you feel like the stress is even worse because your body just feels so stressed. So really important to like set yourself up in good posture so that you just can't help but look after your body. You can buy different gadgets and devices that help hold your device, or put your computer screen at a good height. Good chair, like a footrest if you need under your desk. Different pillows that you can use in your bed. Some people like a cushion between their knees if they're lying on their side, or those big maternity pillows are really good for some people with chronic pain, or just who have to be in bed a lot with their illness. Even when we're sedentary, we can sometimes get up and do something, go to the toilet or get a drink, but we may not really get our circulation or our body moving very well. We're missing those opportunities to look after our body. So thinking about that more, thinking, what do I do each time I go and make a coffee? Oh, I look after my body in this way. I do my shoulder exercises. I do some really good breathing work. Figure out what your body needs. Like, have you been sitting at your desk a lot or lying in bed a lot? And perhaps you do some kind of exercise that really does get you moving, but many types of exercise has kind of a limited range of motion, limited set of muscles that you use. So those muscles get really strong. They learn the range of motion that activity requires, and you ask of it. Like cycling, your body gets used to the limitation of where your legs have to move for each pedal on your exercise bike as well. So they get really strong. The rest of your body on the bike is stabilizing and supporting the pedaling work. So this is another reason why the incidental exercise is really good, because you might spend like half an hour or an hour doing your activity, your cycling or your running or just walking, going for a walk. So you're asking your body to repeat the same kind of movement for that whole time. You might do like 5 minutes of stretching before or after, but it doesn't really compensate for all that you build up when you do one sport. So have a good like brainstorm of what parts of your body might need like you to focus on counteracting the stretch. And you can have a watch of my other videos and like pause them and make some notes of what you're going to try and do in between your proper sessions of exercise, and find times through your day where you're going to schedule having a go of some of the stretches so you actually get around to it. Interspersing the movement through your day means that you have so many short bursts of activity, and each time you do, you can reset emotionally, mentally, like get those good breaths of air, boost your circulation, refocus your mindset, check in what weird thoughts you're having that just keep going round and round in your head. Try and just reset, start back fresh when you return to your activity. Noticing your posture, making gentle assessments of it so that you're training your body to be better behaved, to get used to what it feels like to be in good posture. So you start to train yourself to have a good awareness of knowing if you're sitting correctly, if you're being kind and gentle to your body's needs. And the more that you're aware of that, the more times you make little adjustments, and that helps strengthen the muscles that you use when you're in good posture. If you're not used to using good posture, then those muscles might be quite weak. So it gets uncomfortable to sit straight with your natural curves in your spine. It's kind of easier to collapse, but it's not very good for your body. Putting a lot of stress on joints, and they won't last forever if you treat them poorly. If you're constantly standing with your feet apart and your hips kind of on a funny angle, you're putting stress into your spine as well as your hips and your knees and ankles, like everything's connected. When you get in the car, like be really aware of sitting properly and having the seat adjusted well so that you're not like straining while you're driving. How you're laying in bed, especially if you've got a chronic illness, that you need to leave enough room for yourself to breathe. And finding ways to gently move as you lay in bed for a long time, that you'll figure out, like you can circle your feet under the covers, you can point and flex your ankles, you can kick your legs gently like you're swimming, you can rock your hips from side to side a bit, just take some really deep breaths, try and get that circulation moving without using too much energy. Move your shoulders, like roll your head around, figure out what's useful. So I'll leave it there, and again, if you found that helpful, let me know. Like the video, subscribe, share it, give me some feedback, tell me what else you'd like to hear about. Thank you.